Hello, welcome back in chapter 6 Measurement and Motion part 2. Next we started about the rest and motion. Measurements of two different physical quantities, that is distance and time, are necessary to find the position of an object at different interval of time. When we look around us, we find a number of things. There are chair, table, bed, kitchen utensil, many more you can see. We often see many birds, buses, trains and aeroplanes around us. We can of course add many more things to this list. Do you observe any basic difference in the variety of things around us? We find that many of them are where they were yesterday or day before yesterday or even before that. There are others which keep on changing their position even while we are looking at them. We say that the first type of the object are at rest while the second type of the objects are in motion. How do we decide whether an object is in motion or is at rest? It is the change in the position of an object with respect to its surroundings which help us to decide whether a given object is at rest or is in motion. So we say that an object is at rest if it does not change its position with respect to its immediate surroundings. An object is in motion if it keeps on changing its position with respect to its immediate surroundings. So, the change in the position of an object can be determined through distance and time measurements. This decides how fast and slow motion of an object is. The change in the position of an object can be determined through distance and time measurements. This allows us to decide how fast or slow a given motion is. So let's understand by this activity. We often need to specify the position of an object at different times. Consider the motion toy car along a straight line. Choose point O as a point from where toy car started moving. That is, the car was at point O or at rest. That is, time is equal to 0 second. Let P, Q, R and S represent the position of toy car after different interval of time. In the first 5-second interval, the car moved from O to P. The distance covered is 5 meter in 5 seconds. And in the second case, 5-second interval, the car moved from P to Q. So the distance covered is now 10 meter in these 5 seconds. We can therefore say that the car speeded up in the time interval from 5 to 10 seconds. In order to understand these differences in motion, motions of different objects have been divided into number of categories. We now discuss in some details the type of motions of different objects. The motion of an object can be classified into three types based on the path by the motion of an object. They are translatory motion, rotatory motion, and oscillatory motion. Let us study about the translatory motion. If an object like a bus move in a straight line in such a way that every point on the object move through the same distance in the same interval of time, then the motion of the object is called translatory motion. So motion of bus is equal to translatory motion. Translatory motion are of two types, rectilinear motion and curvilinear motion. Rectilinear motion. If an object or a body in translatory motion moves along a straight line, then the motion is called rectilinear motion. Following examples of rectilinear motions are soldiers marching in a parade, ball dropping from a height, movement of bicycle on the road, running race along a straight line. Curvilinear motion. If an object or a body in translatory motion moves along a curved path, then the motion is called curvilinear motion. Curvilinear motion of examples are bus moving along a curved path, ball thrown by a boy, a javelin throw by an athlete, running race along a track. Rotatory motion are of two types, rotation and revolution. Let's discuss rotation motion. Consider a ceiling fan, mark point A, B and C on any one of the blades of the fan. When the blade of the fan moves, the point A, B and C on the blade move to A, B, C. First, then move to A2, B2 and C2 position. As a result, each point on the blade move in a circular path around the center of the fan, which is fixed. Here we observe that the position of the fan is fixed, but the blade of the fan are changing their position continuously in a circular path around a fixed point. This type of motion is called rotatory motion or rotation. An imaginary line passing through this fixed point is called axis of rotation. Definition: rotatory motion means that motion of all particles of a moving body follows a circular path with respect to a fixed center or axis of rotation. We call such a motion as revolution. The object of an object is known as revolution. If it moves around a central point, changing its position continuously, usually following a circular path. So this type of motion called revolution. Let us perform an activity on translatory and rotatory motion. Take a tennis ball, place it on the surface of table. Now push the ball with your finger. Observe the motion of the ball. Observation. We observe that the ball moves from one place to another place on pushing it. Learning, the ball moves from one place to other place and all the particles of the ball also move along the direction of motion of the ball. As we push the ball on the surface of a table, hence the ball is said to be in translatory motion. Similarly, each particle of the ball move in a circular path about a particular line when the ball rolls on the surface, therefore it is a rotatory motion. Learning. Hence, we conclude that the ball possesses both translatory and rotatory motion at the same time. Oscillatory motion. We must all have had a chance of having played on a swing. The swing goes to one side, comes back to its mean position and then goes to the other side, and this process is repeated many times. Similarly, the pendulum of the wall clock is also in to and fro motion along the same path of motion. This to and fro motion of the swing and pendulum is termed oscillatory motion. Definition: the to and fro motion of an object about a fixed point, always following the same path, is called oscillatory motion. Next, we read about the periodic and the non-periodic motion. Periodic motion, a motion which gets repeated after regular intervals of time, is called a periodic motion. Example, the earth moving around the sun takes 365 days to complete one revolution, and this motion get repeated after every 365 days. Next, non-periodic motion. The motion which does not repeat itself after regular interval of time is called non-periodic motion. Examples, a footballer running on a field, application of brakes in moving vehicle, a ball rolling round the ground gradually slows down and finally stops. Motion of tides in sea, etc. And handcart is filled with the load. It is standing on the road. Rohan and his friends push it hard. It starts moving. The more they push, the faster is the motion of the cart. So it is the push applied on the cart that produce motion on it. Again, in the another example, suppose the door of our room has got jammed. We try to pull it but doesn't open. Some of our friends then join us and help us to increase the applied pull. The door opens. Here it is the pull applied on the door that produce motion in it. These two examples shows that the motion can be produced in an object by giving a push to it or by pulling it. We can therefore say that a push or pull applied on an object is called force. A force can stop motion, produce motion, change the direction of the motion, change the speed of an object, change the shape and size of an object. Thanks for studying chapter with me. Goodbye and have a nice day.